With the natural beauties out of the way, Minnie started talking for himself. His voice was such a surprise, I looked around to see if maybe Fudge was talking for him, the way he had for Uncle Feather. But no, it was Minnie himself, standing on Fudge's step stool, peering into Uncle Feather's cage. "Nice bird," he said. "Yeah, his name is Uncle Feather," Fudge told Minnie. "Nice bird," Minnie said again. "Call him Uncle Feather," Fudge said. "That's his name." "You're Uncle Feather," Minnie said, pointing at Fudge. "No, I'm Fudge." "No, I'm Fudge," Minnie said. "No, you're not," Fudge told him. "You're Farley, but we call you Minnie." "No, he's Farley," Minnie said, pointing to me. "No, he's Pete," Fudge said. "Who's Pete?" Minnie asked. "I give up," Fudge shouted in frustration. "No, I give up," Minnie said, laughing. "You're a turkey brain," Fudge shouted at him. "Gobble, gobble," Tootsie said as she toddled past Fudge's room. It rained all weekend. Not that the Howies minded, because Saturday morning they were hooked on TV. I'm not sure how it happened. It could be that on Friday night, when Dad checked the Weather Channel, Eudora was intrigued. "Wow, look at that, Howie. Isn't that fascinating? You can follow the weather all over the country. They even show the Hawaiian Islands." For the next 2 hours, she and Howie watched the Weather Channel. Then Howie got hold of the remote control, and that was it. Talk about turning into vegetables. It was amazing. For all I know, they pulled an all-nighter. I got up once to pee and could still see the flickering lights coming from the living room. I think they were watching reruns of I Love Lucy. They were laughing their heads off as if they'd never seen anything like it. I realized then they probably hadn't. Mom had to go to work on Saturday morning, and Dad had his usual list of errands. But because of the heavy rain, he didn't want to take Fudge or Tootsie with him. I knew what was coming. "Peter, I won't be gone more than an hour. I put Tootsie in for a nap, so you can just keep an eye on Fudge." "Don't worry, Tubby," Eudora said, yawning. "I'll keep an eye on the little ones." Cousin Howie was surfing from Saturday morning cartoons to the Weather Channel to CNN headline news to a rerun of an Oprah Winfrey special. I went to check on Fudge. He was on the floor of his room building a Lego rocket. Minnie was back on the step stool, keeping watch over Uncle Feather. "Nice bird," I heard him say. As soon as Dad left, Turtle started barking at the door. That's what he does when he has to go out. I should have walked him when I first got up, but walking Turtle in the rain isn't exactly fun. I figured the Howies have 3 kids and another on the way. They could manage without me for 15 minutes. I pulled on my rain jacket and grabbed an umbrella. The second we were in the elevator, Turtle knew it was raining out. Don't ask me how he knows, but he always does. He can smell it, I guess. He hates rain. When we reached the lobby, I had to pull him toward the door. When we got to the door, he whimpered. When I tugged on his leash, he lay down and rolled onto his back, trying to get me to feel sorry for him. He'll do anything not to set foot on wet pavement. Henry watched, shaking his head. "How's the bird?" he asked. "The same." "Still not talking?" "Not a word." I crouched down beside Turtle and talked to him very softly. "Look, you have to do your thing, like it or not. It's not good for you to hold it in so long." He turned his head, pretending not to hear me. Olivia Osterman offered a doggy treat. "Thanks," I said. "He could be rebelling against his name," she said, "if he had a proper name like George or Rufus." "It's the rain," I told her. Turtle sat up and ate his treat. I suppose I should have saved it for after he did his thing as a reward. I held the umbrella over his head as I urged him outside. He cowered next to the building. "Okay, fine. You want to do it here? Go ahead, but we're not going back inside until it's done." For the longest time, he just stood there. Finally, when he realized I wasn't going to change my mind, he did it, without taking 2 steps away from the building. I scooped it into a baggie and threw the baggie in the trash basket. As soon as he walked back inside, he shook himself off, spraying water everywhere, especially on me. All the way up the elevator, he looked at me like I was beyond stupid for making him go out in the rain. The minute I opened the door to our apartment, I was hit in the face by a flying Nerf ball. Everybody was racing around screaming. Eudora in her nightgown, Cousin Howie in his pajamas, Fudge, Minnie, even Tootsie. "What's going on?" I yelled. They were carrying on like it was the end of the world. Turtle took one look and ran, probably to hide under my bed. I caught Fudge as he raced by. "Pete!" he cried. "Minnie let Uncle Feather out of his cage, and Uncle Feather's going crazy." "He's not supposed to have free time unless Mom or Dad are home." "I know that." So where is he? I asked just as Uncle Feather zoomed through the living room, dropping poop like miniature bombs. Pow! A direct hit on Cousin Howie's head. Pow! There goes the sofa. Pow, pow, pow! He hit the bookcase, the lamp, and the coffee table. My first thought was, Mom's not going to be happy about this. But then I thought, never mind the furniture. We have to protect Uncle Feather. I started shouting orders. Fudge, shut all the doors except to your room. Eudora, pull down the shades fast. Cousin Howie, we need to get the mirrors covered. I ran for the closet where Mom keeps the old sheets, but tripped over Minnie on the way. He was chasing Uncle Feather, arms outstretched, little hands in the air as if he could catch the bird barehanded. Nice bird! Nice bird! Tootsie followed Minnie, calling, Peep! Peep! Birdie! I made it to the closet and tossed Fudge a sheet. Take that to Cousin Howie. Instead, Fudge threw the sheet over his head and kept running like a Halloween ghost. You could hear the thud when Uncle Feather crashed. He crashed into the kitchen window and fell lifeless to the floor. My bird! Fudge cried. Suddenly, it was absolutely silent in the apartment. Don't touch him, Cousin Howie said. I've been trained to handle situations like this. Everybody stay calm. Fudge, get a blanket. We need to keep him warm. Fudge came back, dragging the queen-size blanket off Mom and Dad's bed. Something smaller, Cousin Howie told him. A towel, I said. Get a clean towel, the small kind. And a box, please, Cousin Howie said. I ran into my room, dumping my baseball cards on my bed, then tore back to the kitchen with the box. We don't want to cause any harm, Cousin Howie said. He has to be lifted very carefully. Uncle Feather looked so small lying in the box, so still. Peter, Cousin Howie said, do you know the vet's number? Mom keeps the emergency number for the 24-hour-a-day animal hospital on the refrigerator. I picked up the phone and dialed. I don't think I did a very good job of explaining the situation. I managed to get out key words. Mine a bird, crashed, window. I asked if there was a pet ambulance. The voice at the other end said we could bring him ourselves. We'll take the van, Cousin Howie said, throwing a rain poncho over his pajamas. Eudora, stay here with the children. Peter, you come with me. I'll need a navigator who knows the city. Don't forget the van keys, Eudora said, tossing them to Cousin Howie. What about me? Fudge said. He's my bird.